Eve Impactor. That's what we're going to build next. Let's just close that. I don't care about that. And I'm actually going to be sending out 2 probes. The first one, this one that I'm building here, is actually the probe. Actually, no, I think this one will impact Eve now that I'm thinking about it. We're going to send up 2 at the same time and then split them off, and one will go to hit Eve and one of them will go to hit Gilly. So this one's the one that's going to split off. It's not going to be the main probe. And I have a budget of only about 150 meters per second for this, so I figured that should be pretty good. As far as science goes, let's configure the probe. We're going to be doing a telemetry report, and I'm also going to do the light experiment. Both of these are pretty quick to do, so hopefully they'll be able to collect them and transmit them off before hitting their target. Also, I think this is the first time I'm going to be around the sun, so I think that's going to be... I think this thing's going to collect a fair amount of science. We're also going to put on... Here, I'm going to put it on the top. A thermometer. Let's get that started. We're going to get these 2 started, and we're also going to do a radiation scan. So that's going to be all the... I'm picking all the ones that are quick to do, and then the ones that take longer, it's more appropriate to put in orbiter, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's get in... Oh, why not just go... Oh, wait, I forgot. I got these. I love these fuel tanks. These are now my smallest fuel tanks. I love little adorable fuel tanks. Isn't that great? This is the PRBE-4 liquid fuel tank. I'm assuming this is coming from Restock, but it's really nice to have a teeny tiny little liquid fuel tank. Okay, so that gives me a delta V of 470. That's already more than what I need. But what I think I shall do is actually, I want to give this thing a little bit of length. So I'm going to take this, we're going to edit the tanks, we're going to take everything out. This is just like as a structural piece. So I don't have yet any really light structural pieces. So there's a nice structural piece, and to that I can attach my newly unlocked DTSM-M1 antennas, and I figure 2 of these should suffice. Well, maybe here. And we're gonna end up cleaning this up a little bit. I think that's okay. Let's go take a look here. Delta V is still fine. Again, it doesn't need much. This is to correct its path and hit its target here. Let's get... Actually, let's leave this up here for now until I decide what to want. Oh, and I also want... Do I want... No, I'm not going to put a KOS probe core on this one. Okay. Electrical consumption is 0.279. I think that will get covered by just... the all too familiar single row of oxats all the way around. I think that should cover it easy peasy. It certainly does. Now, if I'm in the dark, how long? This thing will run for 5 minutes and 57 seconds. Let's try and increase that a little bit, shall we? Maybe this guy. That will run for 17 minutes now. Maybe another one. That'll run now for about half an hour. Still has 229 meters per second of delta V. I think this is going to be fine. So this will be just a teeny tiny little impactor. There we go. I am... Whoops. Maybe make these antennas look... I'm into just aesthetics now. If I pop them out just a little bit, I think that's a little better looking. So when they retract, they don't glitch into the battery. All right. Why don't I use extendable panels? I don't know. I don't need them yet. That's why I got asked the question by Benjamin. Why don't I do have like these kind of things. Why don't I use them? Because I don't need them. Like to be honest, I've never really looked into the weight of these. These are 175 kilograms. These are 5 kilograms each, so 6 of those is only 30 kilograms. It's lighter. There you go, and it gives me all the electricity I need. So that's all I'm gonna do. Is there a texture? No. Okay. I'm thinking this is my one of my probes right here. Let's retract that. Stick a decoupler under it. The smallest one. Where are you here? That one. There we go. Stick that underneath the ant engine. And then we're going to stick on another probe body. Bum, bum, bum. Again, a hex. Color it gold. Same science. Exactly the same science. So configure this for telemetry and the light experiment. And also another thermometer. Actually, let's leave those off for now. This is also going to need, I think this time I am going to need to get, let's put on a couple batteries. So this is going to be under very similar circumstances. A couple of batteries. Again, the row of aux-sats. And I don't know, there's something I like about just surrounding a probe with solar panels like that, even though it's cheap. And let's get into, let's see, what do I, no, you know what, I think this is going to do the majority of the work to get out. We're going to need to go a little bit bigger. Now I'm thinking about it, this is probably going to need a fairing. Yeah, this is the thing that's going to do the work of getting to, delete that. This is going to do the work of getting to Eve, to the Eve system from low Kerbin orbit. And I budgeted about 1,650 meters per second for this part. So let's stick on a spark engine. Let's see what we got so far. So, and let's take this out of the staging. There we go. All right, so that is 1,609 meters per second. We're already kind of in the right ballpark. Let's try sticking in some small fuel cans. Like these guys. 1,697. Whoops, I don't want that. Oh, 1,710. Maybe a little more. A little bit more fuel, and that will also give me a little bit of height here. So that's 1,087 meters per second. A nice, healthy 1.51 thrust to weight ratio. I think I like that. Just going to clean off the bottom here a little bit. That. That added a little bit more weight. What if a little bit more? You tell how much I like these little these little guys. 1,000 again, 16. That's more. I think that should be okay. Let's start putting antennas on. I think might need more. Now this will have to operate independently from the one above it, so we're gonna put on not 6, just 2 of these. We'll flip these ones the other way. Other way, that way. Extend. Yeah, I got a feeling I'm going to be adding more fuel to this thing pretty soon. I think what I'm going to do, let's slide these right up. I got a feeling I know what I'm going to do. But one thing at a time. I need the science stuff. This science. Oh, I got the wrong. There, and the, oh, I put 2 of them on. And 1,614 meters per second. I feel like that's a little on the light side. So what I'm going to do is take that out. Whoops, again, not with that. And I'm going to grab, I now have these little dumplings. Little dumplings. I also have these little hemispheric ones. Ooh, those might be nice. They didn't add too much. No, they did not. Let's try the dumplings. Big fan of little fuel cans. 1,921 meters per second. That is going to be plenty to get the job done. Let's tie those in a little bit. Maybe a little bit downwards. Can even get away probably with taking out a little bit of fuel. Those dumplings hold a lot. Maybe a little more. There we go. Just to be on the safe side. So that, I think we're looking at something here. Something here to get the job done. Alright, so we will retract these. Alright, let's get into some action groups here. The fairing is going to deploy on action group. Oh, I need lights. Oh my goodness, how could I have forgotten about lights? And the antennas will be on action group 0. So toggle the antennas. Toggle the antennas. Lights. I cannot believe I've almost forgot lights. And then we'll go through the checklist, and then we'll stick a booster on this thing and hopefully fire this thing off to Eve. That is the plan. I think the lights might work better down here. Under here. Those go on. I'm just looking at something that will sort of light this section up a little bit. And then the same thing up here. Just so that if we end up in the dark, this will still, whoop, lights on. This will still be looking okay. I'm just looking at my Delta V's. They're still okay. Might put a little bit more fuel in here once they're all done. And oh, a KOS chip. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot the KOS chip. KOS computer core. And I've been forgetting to do this lately. Put up the disk space and put on my one boot file that loads in the necessary software. Yeah, 2 probes in 1 is what we got happening here. And then maybe some lights just down here at the bottom. Just to provide some blinkiness. Because we need blinkiness. So these will be like amber lights. Blink on. Okay, and let's see. Colors. I'm a big fan of the sort of dark orange motif. That looks alright. No, I think, oh, maybe like that. Actually, I think it went well with the, we'll go with that. There we go. I guess we'll do the same thing to the fairing. And even this coupler, even though you'll barely see it. Alright, I think I need a smidge more fuel. Again, the budget for the main body of this was $16.50. So I'm going to add on, that's $16.72, $17.10. Oh, let's fill it right up. $17.48. Should be okay. Hope so anyway. Should be good. All right, so this is the Eve 1. Okay. And I don't think I'm forgetting. Let's go through my checklist. Probe checklist. Fine print on the contracts. The contract is simply right here to impact, uncrewed, and smack into any of those. And Eve and Gilly are both on the list. So fine print's taken care of. Control, it has control. KOS I have added. Probe bodies have been configured. Science has been set up. Power generation should be fine. Electrical storage is fine. Antenna strength and antenna speed is fine. Ooh, data storage. Very, very true. I think the data storage is fine. Both of these should have 2 megabytes of data storage on board. Yeah, that should be fine for the experiments. Propulsion is fine. RCS is irrelevant. Parachutes are irrelevant. Thermal protection is irrelevant. Lights have been doing upgrades. I'm pretty sure how many ignitions are on this little spark engine. 17 ignitions. Maybe upgrade this little engine. That might not be a bad idea. It's the one that's going to be doing most of the work. We're already upgrade. Here we go. Engine quality. What did that do to my delta V? Barely anything. I think it should be okay. Thrust to weight ratio is fine. 1.10 is fine. Fairing deploy. That's a very good point. Test that. Like the clamshell deploy. 4 pieces. A little bit up in the force department. There we go. And staging. Check your staging. Not much there yet. Okay. Let's build this fairing. Should just go straight up. There's not much to it. There we go. And the mass of this guy is pretty close to 2.2 tons. 2.0 tons, we'll call it that. So let's get into my boosters. What booster can lift up 2 tons for me? Well, I got the Reliant R. I don't know what the difference between these two is. This one's 2.5, but this one's the lighter booster. Let's arrange them by cost. We'll go by the cheapest booster. Okay, we'll go with the Swivel RT2 booster. That should be able to lift it easy peasy. Okay, we do not need some of this. Oh, yes we do. No. What if I just put on the bigger decoupler? I might need that one. Is that going to cover it nice? No, it doesn't. Okay, so we do need that fairing back. No, that. Alright, just got to fix this up a bit, the little transition bit. And I need this back. Protective shell, and so that can just go onto there. That can go on the bottom. That we will disable the fairing, and we will just simply not, or disable the staging. We simply just won't stage that. That'll be like a cowling just to kind of clean that zone up. How's that looking? I'm fine with that. Okay, save it. Check our staging here. Those guys go. Those guys go. This goes. This should be like that. That should be like that. Yep. Okay. Checking thrust to weight ratios. Like a launch thrust of about, here, we can get rid of this, of about 1.33. It's at 1.34, so we'll bring it down just a little bit. There. And what's this? Could this be? That's at full thrust as it is. So everything else is going to be what it is. All right. I'm thinking this is going to do the trick. I'm thinking this is going to do the trick. Yep. And I don't think I'm even going to test it. I think I'm just going to launch it. Let's launch. Let's launch and get ourselves to Eve and Gilly. So not a simulation? Yes, I know that. Let's do it. How about the atmosphere in Hydrolox asks, what about the atmosphere in Eve? That's a very good point. We could do some atmospheric science in Eve, but the problem is it's got to transmit it back, and I honestly think that the amount of time it's going to take to transmit back, I don't think it'll live long enough to transmit anything worthwhile. Is what I'm trying to say. So I'm ignoring Eve's atmosphere. At some point, we'll send something. We'll put a parachute on it. We'll descend through Eve's atmosphere nicely and slowly. I guess I could have done it with this thing, but the problem is I don't think that will count as an impactor then, and I don't want to mess up the contract. So that's that. Okay. What I want to do now, we do have. Let me open up Alarm Clock. We do have a very specific, that gives you all kinds of parameters for helping you set up your ejection out to Eve. This is again all coming from the transfer window planner. And one of the things to notice is that there is an ejection inclination. In other words, when you leave Kerbin, you should be minus 5.42 degrees below the equator. Okay. There's two ways to handle that. One is to put yourself into an equatorial orbit, and on your ejection put in this much prograde, 1497.8, and this much normal. That's to get the inclination right, negative 355.5 meters per second, for a total burn of 1,539 meters per second. And that will work just fine. Or what you can do is launch yourself into an orbit, a parking orbit already with this inclination, and then you can ignore the normal part. Now, to be honest, it doesn't save you too much. You still have to put in the prograde part, and if you look here, you're only saving maybe, well, what is it? 43 meters per second of delta V. It isn't a big deal, but for me, actually, this is pretty easy because I actually have got software to help me do all the launching right. And this will make more sense once we're in our parking orbit. So you're going to have to bear with me. But if I list all the programs that I've got, I have this launch time one here. This one here, launch time. So I'm going to run launch time. And then what it expects as a parameter is your ejection angle. If you don't know what ejection angle is, don't worry about it. It'll make sense in just a bit. 144.29. 144.29. And then hit go. And what it's giving me is 2 times for me to do the launch that will put me into the right plane for the orbit. So I got 0.19 and at 3.19. I'm hoping this will work. I did not test this, and it's been a long time since I've run this program, so I'm hoping I'm going to do this all right. So I'm going to go to 0.19 on this time here. It's at 5:30 right now. The big thing is to make sure I don't time warp too fast and blow right by. I find that so easy to do. 50. 4, 5, 6, 7. There's, okay, 0. Oh wait, what? I'm getting a time warp. Or why is this? Oh, this is this alarm. No biggie. I don't care. I don't need that. Oh, I should have kept that. Oh, shoot. I got to write down a number. Oh shoot, I should have kept that alarm. Okay, we'll keep the alarm details going because I want all this stuff still. Okay, 0.19 minutes. That's what this is, a time in minutes. So I'm going to time warp to that. I'm so paranoid about going too far. 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, let's slow down. All right, and let's clear up our skies here. Okay. You can get it to show you the ejection angle, and here's our ejection angle. What this is saying is we want to put our maneuver node here and burn in this direction, but we want us to be burning towards the south at that time. So what that means is we need our orbit angled in this direction downwards. So I'm just thinking we need to have this up so it goes down. So we need to launch towards the south. This will make sense in a little bit. So what we need to do is to run our launch script into an inclined orbit of negative 5.42. It won't be able to do it that accurately. We're going to go for an 80-kilometer orbit. Okay. And there we go. We are off. I want to keep this open because I need these numbers, and I deleted the alarm, which was foolish of me. Okay, so we're going to go into an inclined orbit of negative 5.42 degrees. Let's go back to here, and this will hopefully make some sense. So I'm 90 degrees away from my ejection burn. You see that? That's why it wanted me to put in that ejection angle. So we're going into an orbit that's going to be inclined 5 degrees downwards. So this part will be up high. I think I did this right. Oh my gosh, now I have my doubts. We'll see when we put it in. If I screwed up, I screwed up. I might be trusting my software too much, but of course I'm the one who wrote my software. Pretty sure this is right. Okay, we are... Oh, I gotta be careful. Do I need to stage? I think I do. Yeah. I need to do the staging, because this is an old booster. It doesn't have any smart parts on it. Alright, we'll see how this goes. I should have probably planned this out a little bit, but I think I'm okay. Oh, just cut the thrust. Supposed to do that. Let's watch this here, yeah. Okay, let's... There we go here. Does that sort of make sense? When I look at this ejection angle, if we're angled this way, I think so. We'll find out. I gotta stop worrying about it now because I've kind of committed myself. But it's great that it can show you this ejection angle, so you know exactly where to put that maneuver node. Of course, we got to get ourselves into orbit first. That is job number 1. Getting lots of discussion about KOS. KOS is pretty fun. If you're into programming languages and you like KSP, I would definitely recommend it. And even if you're not into programming languages and would like to learn, I think it's actually a nice little avenue in to the art of programming. Just my only advice is if you're going to get started with KOS is to start small. Do small little programs just to maybe start a rocket. So, going to get the staging here. Yep. Start a rocket, or to, you know, I don't know, open up your antennas or something like that, rather than going straight into a big launch script, because this launch script is hundreds of lines long. And it's something I didn't write in one sitting. It's something I wrote over time, over a long period of time. And I keep adding on to it to this day. And if you are interested in any of these scripts, I do have a link to a GitHub on my Discord. And you can go there and you can download it and you can play around with them. Try and learn how they work. Would be my advice. Okay, can I do some time warping without blowing anything up? Looks like it. No, it's going to do some shaking and some shimming. I hate that. I wonder if it's this thing that's causing, if I take this and turn the gimbal limit down, can I now time warp without it? Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Don't do that. We'll just have to wait. Roy asked, do I have videos on KOS? Not directly, just me fooling around with it. There is a YouTuber by the name of Cheers Kevin that I think writes some excellent KOS tutorials, as well as Felipe de Sousa, who is in the chat right now, has actually written some excellent KOS tutorials, so you might want to check both of them out. Okay, we're now in space. About a minute, almost 2 minutes from our burn. This booster still has a ton of fuel in it, so that will be good for getting ourselves to Eve. We got a lot of extra fuel just in the booster. That'll be nice. And there we go. So this is again just to put us into our orbit, and then it's going to be the moment of truth. Will our ejection out to Eve be easy peasy, or did I mess this up? That is the question. But right now we are almost there. Okay, that is that. And program has ended, so we are in our orbit. Orbit looks good. Let's get out here. So according to this, we should be putting our ejection burn right here. No, I'm confident I did this right now that I'm doing it. And the amount of prograde should be very close to 1,498. So I'm just going to flat out type 1,498 as my magnetic fields come on because I'm using the numpad. Okay, so there's our ejection roaring out. And how did we do? Let's set Eve as a target. Oops. Why are we not seeing too much? Now it should be, this is not again an optimal transfer. We're overcooking it, but we should be seeing Eve around here somewhere. I'm a little bit, I did put Eve as a target. Okay, let's see if we can play around with our burn a little bit. It's at the right time, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Pretty darn close anyway. Okay, let's get out here. Let's see how close. Let's play with the timing first. I'm just not seeing any of those encounter indicators, which is really bothering me. A bit more. A little bit less. Are we crossing the right plane? Oh, now I'm sort of worried I didn't do this right. Now I am kind of worried I'm going to have to put some normal in here. I think I'm missing by just a little bit. Let's go back to the 1,000. What was it? 1,498. There we go. Put that back. Get that right back onto where the ejection angle says it's supposed to be. Pretty darn close. Okay. I think I'm coming just a little bit towards the south. Probably because my inclination's not super accurate. 5.4 degrees. I'm not going to get it any more accurate than that. But I can see here. See how it's coming towards the south? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit. Well, probably around here would be the best place to do a correction. That's a long way ahead. So maneuver number 2, we're going to come up just, shouldn't be much. There it is. Yeah, not far off. A little bit of a correction. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go to maneuver number 1. We're going to look at this. Let's start playing with the timing first. That's making it closer. There it is. Well, it was there. Okay, let's focus in on Eve. So it's going to require a little bit of a correction. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Trying to get just that timing just about right. So where is our maneuver? Shoot. You know, I think I'm going to live with the burn. I'm going to live with it the way it is. I'm going to fix it with the corrections. So let's just do this burn. There's burns coming up in 14 minutes. What's the thrust to weight on this bottom stage? 3.95. Don't like that. So we're going to go... Well, that's the gimbal limit. that should be good. A little higher. There we go. All right, going to put this onto the normal vector. Then this is just for the solar panels, even though the solar panels are a long way off. And actually, I don't think I need this anymore, and I don't think I need alarm clock anymore. And actually, I'm going to do this burn without using KOS too. So let's just get to it. Back in the sunshine. On our way to Eve. So we're going to use what's left in this stage. There's still 528 meters per second left in the stage, so might as well make use of that. And then we'll be on to the probe bit of this. Get rid of the contract window here too. So don't need to be staring at that. All right, what do we got? 25 seconds to the burn. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We are off, hopefully on our way to both Eve and Gilly, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Okay, gotta get ready to make this stage. And the reason why I do have a KOS script for executing maneuvers, but it can't handle the staging. I've not figured that part out yet. So I'm just gonna do it. There we go. Now we're on to the little spark engine to do the rest of this. Yeah, I'm thinking that just a slight imperfection in my inclination was probably all that was causing that, being, you know, by the time you get out to Eve, it turns into a big difference. And that was enough to sort of just miss Eve a little bit. We'll do a little bit of a correction. Oh, that camera change indicates that we're on our way out of Kerbin's SOI. I believe this is the first probe in this series to do that. I have really been putting way too much focus on the moon and not really thinking about much else. Okay, I'm just reducing throttle because getting close to the end of this. And we're just gonna cut it. That's good. Cut it there. We'll deal with the rest of this in form of a correction.